Hey everybody, Jonathan Potter here, and today I want to talk about two things. First, blood oranges. What? These things are amazing. If you're in citrus country, you've got to get some of these. Second, bulk loading film. I remember back in high school when my photography teacher would roll up bulk rolls of black and white Tri-X or something like that and sell it to us for $1 or like $1.25 per roll, and that was about as cheap as film could get at that time. Granted, this was the late 90s, so you could buy film pretty much anywhere, like, you know, even 7-Eleven carried a lot of 35mm film, which is crazy. But if you were like me and you mostly shot color negative film and just dropped it off at like a pharmacy or Target or Costco to have it printed and developed, black and white was still kind of an exotic creature to have in your hands. And so it was always a really exciting time of the week when I would get my little canister of unlabeled film with a little piece of masking tape on it that had something like Tri-X or HP5 written on it. It was always really exciting. Fast forward 20 years and here I am, still bulk loading my own film. At any one time I've had at least 2, if not 3 or 4 bulk loaders full of film. I always have one with HP5 in it, and that's just my most commonly shot film stock. Another one that I usually keep on hand is Arista 200, which is sort of my new favorite slower speed film if I'm not shooting something with HP5, basically. So those are the 2 black and white stocks that I always keep around. I also currently have a loader full of Agfa Optima that expired like in the 90s, so that's been pretty interesting to shoot through. And then I also occasionally have some cinema film that I load up in one of the bulk loaders. Let's talk a little bit about economics. Out of one 100-foot roll of film, you're going to get about 18 36 exposure cartridges. So, talking math, if you go with HP5, the roll of HP5 is going to cost you about $75 for a 100-foot canister of it. Now, commercially, a 36 exposure roll of HP5 is $5.99 or $6. If you're rolling it yourself and you're expecting to get 18 cartridges of 36 exposures out of it, you're looking at $4.79. Arista 200 is even less expensive. You're looking at $54 for a 100-foot roll. Normally, a 36 exposure roll of Arista 200 is going to run you about $4.79. If you're rolling your own, you're looking at $2.97. So it's like a 47% savings. So it's a pretty big difference in price, especially with these pretty common and easy to access black and white stocks. So it saves money. I mean, honestly, the biggest reason why I bulk roll film is it saves me money. I would say the secondary reason that I get to do it is I can roll up short rolls if I'm testing a camera and I don't want to shoot a whole roll of 36. You know, sometimes I roll up 20, 24, 18 exposure rolls. That does eat into your sort of cost savings because you've got a little bit of leader at the end of the film that's going to come out, but it's nice to have a short roll when you want it. So what do you need to get started bulk rolling film? Well, first thing, obviously, is a bulk loader. This is one that I got from Freestyle. It's super affordable. It is very user-friendly, and there's nothing to go wrong with it. It's a Lloyd's Daylight bulk loader. Lloyd's Daylight bulk film loader. Lloyd's bulk film loader. They work really well. They have a crank that just comes out, the top unscrews, and then you basically just have an open compartment with a little bit of flocking inside there for light tightness. You're also going to need some fresh film. This is a roll of Arista 400 that had been in my freezer for a few years, so we're going to load this up. I actually just ran out of HP5, so we're going to shoot some of this and see how it performs, and maybe we'll have a little HP5 versus Arista 400 test in the future. For our example, I'm going to use this open roll of film that came out of something. It's already exposed, so you'll be able to see how it works. Canisters, you're going to need empty refillable canisters. You can reuse commercial canisters if you're willing to tape your film onto the leader, but in this case I'm actually using canisters that I got from Eastern Europe. They have really nice big end caps, and they just work really well. The other thing that I like about these is that they're easily reusable. Some of the American ones that you get are really difficult to either slide the film into, or they're just not as, they're a little bit more flimsy. So bulk loading canisters from Eastern Europe are my favorite, and they're still pretty inexpensive. But you can get bulk canisters from Freestyle, a lot of any store that carries a lot of film supplies. You'll probably be able to get some bulk canisters from. And then last but not least is a film changing bag. So film changing bag you need because to load up your bulk loader, you're gonna have to do it in complete darkness. So this is an enclosed canister of fresh film. I can't open this in the light because obviously that will expose all the film. So that is why we have this cool little already exposed roll of film so I can show you how it all works. Let's load up our bulk loader with some film. So I have this core here that you don't need, but it came out of an older roll of mine. It does fit perfectly into the center of this new roll of film. So again, you don't need it, but I have it, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to drop that down in there first, take the end of the film in my hand, and we're going to just feed it through like such to get it started through that felt flocking, and then I'm going to roll it back onto the reel a little bit, drop the reel in, pull this out. So we've got film coming out this side. And then we're going to just take our lid. Lid fits right back down on there. And then this nut gets screwed down. And now, go ahead and close that up. Take it out of your dark bag, and you've got your film that's all ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to take our canister and pull the bottom off, take the core out. We're going to get a piece of tape with the tape all the way around the core, and then tape the film leader on there. We're going to put our canister back over and put it back together. And then we're going to basically push the film and the canister into this slot here. Then we're going to take our little crank handle, which is notched, if you can see that. And then we're going to take that, and it goes in through this hole, and then you slide it in, rotate it around until it finds the center spindle on your cartridge of film. And then it says right here, actually, on the bulk loader, how many times you need to rotate to load up a certain number of frames. So basically we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the crank handle comes out. That allows you to now open this door, and you just pull your film out, scissors, clip it off. You've got a roll of film. Be sure to notch the film leader so you can load it into your camera, unless you're shooting a Leica, in which case just leave it straight. And that's it. We've got our cost-saving roll of film, and we're ready to go shoot. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoy this content, please subscribe. Oh my God, it's so good. I want this year round. It's so crazy.